you there. Just wanted to let you know you are now listening to the AK Mindset Podcast.
Yes, sir. And yeah, Marvel has been putting some L's down on us, like Rigel said. Can't lie to you, but let's get into it now. First of all, let's start with positive. Let's start with positive. Let's talk about our favorite Marvel movies that we've experienced. Because we can't lie, at one point Marvel was doing a thing. They were doing a thing, and they were doing it well. I don't know what happened now, but they were doing it well back then. So give me your top 3 Marvel movies. We'll go with Rigel first.
Cool, I'll set pace. Even though I might be harsh sometimes on the Marvel cinematics, they have produced some bangers, I can't lie. And I'm an easygoing guy, so I'm not even too fussed when I watch certain movies. But when I have to be critical, I have to, assess that some of them were dead. But the top 3, because we're talking the top 3 movies I've watched, in no particular order, but Thor Ragnarok, that dropped in 2017, I believe. Bro, it's so enjoyable, and I think it was made more enjoyable by the fact that the previous Thors were, it was so unique compared to those previous Thor movies. It was like a breath of fresh air. It was taking like a different approach to the visuals. It was highly comedic. The characters felt different. You could tell there was like their development, but also like a carefree nature of that movie. It was actually pure vibes, and they should have stopped at Thor Ragnarok. That's what they should have done if they were wise. But you have to make your money, I guess. The second one, I would say Black Panther. That I've beyond just like, I wouldn't even say it's the best or greatest, one of the greatest movies, but what it did like culturally, bringing so many people from different backgrounds together to experience such rich culture, and the movement in terms of just having such a diverse movie going and capturing like the imagination of so many people worldwide, and that spanned for, I felt like the whole year. Like, it was actually crazy. It spanned for such a long time, and I just thought that movie. I remember I watched Daniel. We watched it together, innit?
Yeah. We all went and watched it. It was pretty good.
Bro, it was elite. Like, it was it was vibes. And then I think my third one is going to be kind of like a surprise. I don't really hear this one talked as often as I would expect. But Shang-Chi, the 10 Rings joint, bro, I enjoyed that movie so much. Like, I watched it on multiple occasions. Just like any movie that goes deep into any type of culture or history and stuff, and there's discussions on the family bond and love and hope and fighting for your people, but also fighting for like the human race as a collective sacrifice. All of that speaks to me. That is like, it's always a crazy, just gets me so enamored or involved emotionally with the characters, with the storyline, and Shang-Chi definitely did that to me. And oh my days, the music in Shang-Chi, the playlist, it was crazy. It was hitting, and to be fair, everything ever since Black Panther, in regards to music wise, ever since that Black Panther playlist, what their Marvel cinematic has actually done well is the music drops. Like, they've actually done that really well, and since then there's not been a lot that I haven't enjoyed from the albums they've released that have been associated with the movies. But yeah, that's my top 3, and I hope people out there can resonate with it.
Yeah, I would resonate if you didn't have Thor Ragnarok on there.
I kind of had a feeling. I'm not gonna lie to you.
we know Daniel's a Ragnarok hater. He doesn't like the jokes. Man says serious at all times, bro.
But it has both.
There's no time for jokes, man.
See, I understand your point of view, but I enjoy that movie still. But let's see your top 3. Let's see how different it is.
It's probably going to be like all the basic picks. So Captain America, Winter Soldier, I think this is probably the best MCU film, just in my personal opinion. I like Captain America. I think he's one of my favorite characters. Steve Rogers, he was cool, and everything about the film was just really entertaining from the introduction. His banter with what's his name again, Falcon.
Yeah.
That opening scene where they're running around and he's just like on your left.
On your
Listen,
left.
that
Yeah.
just always makes me. I
Iconic.
always rewatch that. It always makes me crease. And then just from the like action scenes, that combat was good. And then you have Natasha being introduced again with Black Widow. They had a good chemistry together. And then kind of that reveal that Shield was being controlled by what's
Hydra.
that's the one, Hydra. That was whoa, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think Winter Soldier, very solid film. I think one of the strongest films. And then next I have probably it's gonna be come up Avengers Infinity War. Probably the best, one of the best out of the bunch. It was kind of a shame because Infinity War was so good and then Endgame just didn't live up to that. But
Oh, really?
nah, Endgame was dead. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling Endgame, but that's a tangent. But Infinity War, you've built up Thanos for the like over like 10, 20 films or whatever, and he's come in and we've seen him, and you immediately feel his presence. You fear him and you respect him. Just in the first 5 minutes alone, he thumped up the Hulk, and you're like, okay, this guy, he's a different level. He didn't even need the gauntlet. You have Thor. He has to get the axe now. You have the different factions, the guys on the planet, and then the people on Earth, the two that kind of dual storyline that was going on. That was so. It was just like a constant thriller, and then the ending. Everyone talks about the ending with the snap. So yeah, Infinity War lived up to the hype, and I felt like it's definitely a top 3 MCU film for me. And then lastly, I didn't really know what to pick for this last one, I can't lie, because I know the top 2 are there, but this last one, so I'm just gonna pick a recent film, and I don't know if it's like one of my favorites, but I really did enjoy it, so recency bias will carry me. It's the Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I
Probably
just
the first one.
yeah, I think
Probably the first one.
it's way better than the first one.
Oh,
I agree with that as well. I was vibing with that. Like it's actually elite. I was vibes with it.
Yeah, I mean, when I take into account like rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, like they had to deal with that, the main actor dying, but the way the actors and the staff, the director Ryan Coogler was still able to do a story that I feel like was even invigorated by his passing. They stepped up the levels. I felt like it was so much. I don't even want to say it was better because he passed, but I felt like they put the passion because he passed. And Shuri, I really felt the pain. The mother, I felt the pain, and then Namor, I liked him. And when you have a likable villain and you kind of hear what he's saying, and it kind of makes the conflict within the movie even better. And then like that little Easter egg at the end with I think everyone knows who I'm talking about. And then
Yeah.
I think just before I close, the most powerful scene when she lets herself to grieve. It's just a emotional heavy hitter, and I think it's a great film.
That's good. I think you guys are the first people I've heard who have heard this over the first one as a movie, not just as an experience. But I see that. Personally, mine, I found it hard because I'm a Marvel fanboy at the start. It's hurting me now that Marvel's falling off. But I've been always a Marvel fanboy. I've always been the person who liked Marvel over DC growing up. Not mainly because of Spider-Man. But so I've watched this movie so many times, but it was hard. But I would go. My first one has to be Ragnarok, because I think it's the first movie I truly like
Oh, you guys love
laughed
Ragnarok.
out loud. I laughed at that.
Ragnarok was. I don't know why Daniel doesn't like Ragnarok. I'm so confused.
I understand where it's coming from, though. I understand where it's coming from in the point of like it needed to be a serious movie because Ragnarok is like is the end. It's the end.
Yeah.
And even the comics, because I thought I wasn't gonna like it, but what I was hearing before it came out, because in the comics, Ragnarok was a massive thing, but this time it was just like played off for jokes, but it worked. Funny enough, it worked because I feel like
Fair enough.
the main character Thor just needed something because the first two movies are just not it for me. And it hit personally. I liked it. Then number two has to be Black Panther. I think what Rigel said with the movement at the first, it was just beautiful, man. I've never seen so many white people wear dashikis before. In my life. Come to you. But when
For real?
we got together, man, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. That made me truly happy. It actually brought people together, man. People were coming, watching, and natives, even different cultures went on stuff as well, just to come and show support. It was crazy. I loved it. I think it set up perfectly as well for something like Shang-Chi to happen with the cast and the directors and everything. So I think Black Panther is just. It was more than a movie for me. It was like a movement. And I loved it very much. When it comes to which one I prefer more, I'm not even sure because the emotional weight of the second one is kind of there as well compared to like the movement of the first one. So I'm just happy Black Panther was done well, and I love both them, the two movies. But I think the first one stays in the top five. Maybe the second one is there, but for yeah. Then the third one was hard for me as well because there's so many good movies in my opinion on the catalog, but. I think I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I will say Infinity Wars and Endgame put together. So I just felt like they were good, like part one and part two. It was amazing for me. I would say Infinity Wars a lot better than Endgame. So if I have to choose one, I'll pick Infinity War. Just the way it ended, it's just like, yep, done. You know, just see the image of Thanos just smiling like a little smirk as it ends, and you're like, yeah, that's it. And people just disappearing. I loved it so much. It felt like there was like, damn, what are we gonna do now? And it carried on in the end game for me because like everyone's like, damn, we've lost everything. What do we do? Everyone kind of gave up hope. But I think it was really good, and all the characters being put together. I think Infinity War did what I felt Civil War couldn't do. I was just like the amount of names involved. I wanted Civil War to be a lot bigger than it was, and it didn't hit. But I still love Civil War as a movie, but I think Infinity War just hit that, like, the magnitude of the characters involved. Even though I still wanted more, but it was good, and it was amazing. So yeah, let's switch it up now to the worst movies, the bottom three of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I'm sure this is easy for some of us. But yeah, I'll go first. Let me start this off. This one was hard because there's a lot of movies I didn't really enjoy, which is kind of crazy. But then again, it's like what over 40, like over 40. I think there's over 40 like Marvel movies now, but there are some that's like horrible. I think I'll start with in no particular order, but the second Thor, I think it's Thor: Dark World, was one of the worst movies I've seen, especially because of me being a massive Thor fan. I love Thor so much. It's like top 10 like comic book characters for me personally. Just his journey and like the kind of character development and everything. But that second movie was just horrible. The first one was cool. I think the joke and like the introduction of them was alright, but the second one was not it for me, which is crazy because it had some of the great characters like Loki as well in that, but it didn't hit. Then I'll say, which is crazy because I've watched it again and it's like For Love and Thunder has to be there for me now. I think mostly because of the disappointment. I thought Dark World was like I was disappointed, but I think after Ragnarok, especially when it's like one of my favorite movies, and to bring Love and Thunder, I was just like, what's going on, man? What have they done with this character? I think I think I saw the positive reviews from what they did with Ragnarok, and instead of maintaining the balance, I still put some kind of seriousness there, and they just went over the top of trying to make it funny. It's like, why are you trying to make me laugh? There's a difference between being funny and trying to make someone laugh. And it's like, God, it was just cringy, it was corny, and I just hated it, honestly. I just didn't like it. I left with disappointment. Then the third one was hard to pick because there was so many meh movies, not really bad, but I think I've settled with Eternals because I don't know, that movie was just, I felt empty leaving it. It didn't have substance to me.
I say you felt empty. That's crazy.
That is so wild.
That's so
Man
wild.
said empty.
I felt empty, honestly.
Like-
I mean, there's like
Sorry, man.
stories like Black Widow, which had like issues there and there, but I felt like connected to the characters with like, especially with Black Widow's sister and everything, and even the first Thor, like I felt connected with the characters there and kind of the relationship between like Thor and Loki, and even like Ant-Man and the Wasp, but there was still connection there. I just watched this movie, was like, I don't care. I hope I don't see these characters again in movies. Honestly, that's how I felt. There were cool moments here and there, but I just wasn't connected. I would say like they did one of the best display of like speedsters in a movie, but that's at least the only positive I can mention. I just didn't like it. That was not my thing. And especially the kind of characters they are. These are crazy characters. And for you to fumble the bag that hard for them was just wild to me. But yeah, those are my 3 picks. And let's go Daniel next.
All right. Great picks there, Ed. Great picks there.
Great picks.
I will agree with you that Thor Dark World is one of the worst MCU movies.
Oh, that's terrible.
And the reason why I don't like it is because it's boring. It's just boring.
Yeah.
I don't care about anything that's going on. Rest in peace to his mom, but yeah, I don't care about all that, man. They needed to do. They need to do.
All, you know?
Exactly. They have to do better.
I do not care.
Talking about what's it? I don't even remember what was happening. Was it something with the elves or dwarfs, whatever?
It was the elves, yeah.
There you go.
Malekith came because of the, I think it was the Mind Stone or something, and it was just
Hey man, yeah. So I don't like Full Dark World. I think it's bad. And even though I talk about Ragnarok, it's not going to be on this list. So you guys can stop.
Oh.
You can stop.
No, we're breathing.
I don't think it was
breathing
that bad
easy.
reasoning.
Breathing
I
easy.
think without the thought of it needing to be serious, do you think it was like a good movie apart from that, or did I just like spoil the whole thing for you?
No. I think there was other good parts of it, like with I'll just say like quickly, the relationship between what's it, Thor and Loki. I liked that. That was cool. That was cool. That was a good thing about the film. But my next pick is Captain Marvel because that was just it wasn't good. That's the best way I can put it.
That bad, you know. I think people just, not you, but I think most people, why they hate that movie is because of the actress. But I think the movie as a whole, I think it's alright. It does what it needs to, and it made me laugh a little bit. I think I like the characters in it.
Yeah, I didn't like Captain Marvel, so that's the thing.
It was a worst character in the movie, to be fair.
Exactly. Exactly.
I was invested in the cat more than her. To be fair, she wasn't bad, but she was like, as the main character was like,
It was bland.
like Samuel Jackson was better. Like Nick Fury was better.
Yeah.
Even what was the scroll? But that was the best character.
Yeah. My thing is like, I'm not really difficult to impress. I like most things more than times than not. So if I go into a film and then I leave and I didn't like it, I'm gonna be extra harsh because the hurdle you have to jump over is not a large one. So
very little.
If you fail to impress me, then I don't know. Like that's very surprising if I'm being honest. But then I don't even have anything else to say about Captain Marvel. But the next and the last one is Black Widow because it was just nonsense, over the top. It just did too much when it didn't need to do too much. That last scene where they're on the plane, like this is Black Widow. We don't need this stupid action sequence, man. Like if they kept it grounded, you know, there was good things with her family and you know. Her sister's a great character, and I'm not just saying that because she looks good, but
Fam, she leng. Oh my days.
Honestly, as well. Let's not be a fanboys. Like,
I apologize for my outburst.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I think it was just over the top, and also the placement of the film. She's dead, so what's the point of doing this film? It's stupid to me. I'm not gonna lie. You should have done this time ago, and to be honest, I mean the story was okay, I guess,
Yeah.
but I think there was a character they put in that I can't remember. Was it Taskmaster? I don't know why that person was in the film as well. So yeah, I think they just threw that person in for no reason. But my main problem is it was too over the top. That's my thing. It didn't need all these big explosions. You could have kept it relatively grounded with she's kind of the covert. She tries to infiltrate. If it was something along those lines, I'm cool. Black Widow doesn't need explosions. She's not a superhero like that.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't know. There's a blueprint for that like kind of movie already with like Captain America. Like Captain America deserves the over the top kind of stuff, and he didn't even get that much compared to like the craziness that they were doing in this movie. And I felt like they missed the ball with like they could have done a movie. There was a movie there for them, like Budapest, with Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yep.
Perfect. You can do it in like a flashback kind of thing, then deal with the story now a little bit. But it was just, I don't know, it felt flat. But the saving grace for me is the connection we had with the family and stuff. Even the villain. Who was the villain? Forgettable.
Yeah, it was some Don, the Don who was yeah, that's him. That's it.
Yeah. I can't remember his face, his name, and I don't even know what. I don't know what they were fighting for. I can't remember. I refuse to watch that movie a second time. So when I can't watch you a second time, especially for Marvel movies, you're flopped. And Love and Thunder. I'm gonna go back into that conversation.
Hey, before I pass it off though, you might notice I didn't mention Love and Thunder and Eternals. That's because I didn't watch them, and we'll probably touch on we'll touch on that later.
Plus, I didn't touch it, bro.
He said I was not involved.
I wasn't involved.
Even touch something, do not touch. You know how wild it is that Thor now has like the worst trilogy or like quadruple. That's kind of sad. It hurts me. Yeah. It has one good movie out of 4. Damn. One mediocre one and 2 bad ones. That's sad.
Some people have no good ones, so
like who?
Ant-Man.
I don't know. Ant-Man. Yeah.
The first one is good.
So, that's true.
The first one was good. That was a good movie. The first one was good. The second one was and the third one I haven't even watched that yet.
There's a third one.
Quantumania, bro.
That doesn't exist.
He's not touching that.
Yeah, I'm too scared to watch it, but yeah, because Kang, you're supposed to be. I don't know. Let's not even get to that. But well, before we move on, I wanted to touch on any movies we think is underrated.
Rizzo didn't give his 3, did he?
No, not yet. Let me give my 3.
I'm so sorry. Like,
this is me patiently waiting.
Forget about it.
My 3, real quick, Eternals, hot mess. And like Daniel, I'm a simple guy to please. I don't need much. I can go in, and if you give me the best that you can do, I'll accept it. I'm like, it's fair. You gave me your best. This one, you didn't even try. There's too many characters. I couldn't develop any sort of tangible relationship or connection with anybody in this film. It was just a bunch of faces that were interchanging every few seconds and discussing stuff. The plot line was a lot. It felt like there was cramming so much into a limited space of time. I was like, what are you doing? Like, why are you rushing? It felt like I was being rushed when I was watching it. And I did not enjoy that experience. There was some, I guess, the visuals, like you said, the speedsters done right. Because that shot when she was doing 10 toes across the world, one of my favorite speedster shots I've ever seen. Like, it was legit. It was actually legit. Second one, Thor: Love and Thunder. Do you know when you have a good thing, like you can double down or don't quadruple down, don't go times 10, because when you do that, that's what you get. You get Thor: Love and Thunder. You get nonsense. You get trying to replicate success and by just going all out, and you can tell it's like you're doing a lot. You're forcing it. You're actually forcing it, and. Like when you guys brought up the other Thor movies that were disappointment, and I think it was the number 2 or Dark World, or was that the one?
Yeah.
That's why Ragnarok was so good, because the first two Thor movies were just meh. They were just all right. The first one, cool. Second one, dead. Then the third one came and it hit us with the out of nowhere KO bang. It's like, rah, what's that? I didn't see that coming. And that's why everybody loves some people love Thor Ragnarok, because it just went, it's like, do you know when you lose hope in something? Like so much hope. And then suddenly you're like, why is this so amazing? Like I lost hope and you're just amazing. That's what happened with Ragnarok. And they should have just left it at that, because the fourth one, I couldn't even finish the movie.
Damn.
Legit. I just left. I couldn't finish the movie.
You just left? Oh my days.
I said I'm wasting my time. I was wasting my time. I said, what are we doing here? I said, we're wasting our time. I was gone. Nonsensical. It was just doing too much. It was a lot. Ruining characters for me. I can't let you ruin characters for me like that and sit there to the end of the movie. No, I'm not doing that. Last one, Black Widow. Like Daniel said, it was, for what it could have been, it wasn't. It was trying to be a typical MCU CGI extravaganza with effects and powers. And so I'm like, you're not that. Just do a calm, humble thing. It's good to be humble. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
But shout out to Florence Pugh. You kept me there. That's why I didn't leave. You kept me in my seat. I was like, I will see this to the end.
Yeah, man.
I feel it.
She's amazing. The highlight of that movie, man. It was Scarlett Johansson, obviously, but we're used to her now. But
she's clear of Scarlett, man.
Huh?
She's clear of Scarlett.
Oh,
what Scarlett has in her heart.
I might fight you still. Claire or Scarlett? Which are you mad?
It's no competition, man.
You made a competition. You made it a competition.
Claire. It's not a competition, by the way. But yeah, I think touching back on Thor, I think for Ragnarok, I think because of how, I don't think it's the most the best movie when even want to be critical. I think like something like probably Winter Soldier has that for me with the storylines and everything. But I think it's just good for how bad Fresh 2 was that we're just surprised. And it's like a cult classic kind of thing. It's like, is it really, really that good? But I enjoyed the ride all the way through. And he did have some good storyline, but yeah, I don't know. I think they just smoked too much. And you know what? Let's go even crazier. I think Thor is one of the movies as well that deserves so many movies, 5, 6, because there's so many storylines to go through. But yeah, I'm glad they're parting ways with that producer or whatever he is. I don't want him close to Thor movies. I think they should take a break from Thor movies, but we'll get to that later.